Chris. I see you. What up, people? What is going on? We have the first episode, and let me get the name right because Chill is here. Ms. Marvel. There we go.
That's
Got
right.
it right, Chill?
You know how many times I've seen interviews where they actually call her Miss Marvel, and I'm going, why are they saying the name wrong? It is Ms. Marvel. That's right.
There we go, guys. Had to get that correctly. And no Phantom Dome to anybody if they could tell me who was that song, who's the song by, or what's the name of the song?
That's DMX, bro.
DMX.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So which one is it, though?
I guess it was too easy. All right. Name of the song, then.
Who am I?
Yeah,
I think
that's
it
the
is
thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Is it Who Am
You
I?
could go blind. No, you could go
Oh, you
blind.
can go blind. Okay.
Yeah.
I
there
like
you
that.
go.
I like that one.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Welcome, guys. We are back. We have a panel here. We're going to go around the panel so these guys can talk about the channel. First up, and Mr. Comic Chat, a.k.a. Danny Graham. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
What up? You can find me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays night, sometime on Saturdays, but mainly those 3 nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the gentleman to my left and right. We talk about different stuff, mainly Marvel, the DCU, a bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Star Trek, whatever tickles our fancy that particular week. But we're ready for this show tonight.
Absolutely. Chris Knight, talk to the people, sir.
Yep. Real Review 3000. That's my channel. ADHD for YouTube is what I say about it. Been really busy at work lately, so I'm trying to figure out what the schedule's going to be like for my channel. I need to get on that, make sure I do that. I've been doing some gaming streams here and there. That's going to be switching to Twitch here soon. And then I just heard that they're in the middle, or they have finished shooting the next season of The Masked Singer. So we will be back to Unmasking the Masked Singer here in a month or two. I mean, they're
wanted
turning
this
things
past
out
season?
left and right. It
Rudy
was,
Giuliani.
No, it was not Rudy Giuliani. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I can tell you. I'll get back to you, though, on that, because I don't want to waste the time. But, yeah, I'm glad to be here and ready to talk about Ms. Marvel.
All right. Ash, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tell the people about your channel, where they can find you.
My channel is The Widow. Though I said I can't even speak. The Widow. I'm
The Wittiot. What the hell?
Yeah, the Wittiot.
15 subs away from 600. So
Are you a
please
Wittiot?
subscribe. Yes, I talk about pop culture news, reviews, and that's about it. That's what I do. And I love
Absolutely.
the MCUs. See, I made that rhyme just for you guys.
A shill, MCU shill.
Yeah,
We
and
know
I
it.
do have
It's
a
all
new
good.
thing. It's called the MCU Shill. Yes, I've got it.
Chillmonger, what's up, brother? Talk to the people, sir.
I had the MCU shill on my channel yesterday. We were reading over the Ms. Marvel reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and that was fun. So, yeah, on my channel, I do things like cover Ms. Marvel, and I do thumbnails where I have the comic book right in front of my face, and I line it up and I sync it up.
Almost.
Eli, talk to the people. You just muted yourself, by the way. There you go.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I hit the wrong button. I'm not used to this configuration here. But
Oh,
I
good.
happen to, yeah, it's okay. I happen to be like who. I have a YouTube channel. It's a science show called What's With the Universe, where I talk anywhere from basic astronomy to complex astrophysics. You know, black holes, GRBs, even tour of our solar system. So if you ever look up at the night sky and you go, what the hell is that? Turn on my channel, you might learn something. I also got a couple parody funny videos that can be found somewhere on Chris Knight's channel if I ever actually manage to escape his basement. That's a rarity, but it happens. Tuesday nights can be found with the Chaos with these guys up here. Sunday, sometimes I can be found with Chris or on uh, Cardinal Sin's channel, sometimes Oral Nation. Hey, Adij, I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You don't know where I'm going to be. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, no problem. No problem. Glad you guys can make it. Brittany Jackson is in the house. Lovely Cheryl's in the house. Big Burl's in the house. Thank you guys for popping up. Much appreciated. And now we're going to get into it. Ms. Marvel has dropped, and we're going to go through our first impressions of the show. So, Danny Graham, let me hear you first up, brother. What are your first impressions of this episode?
First of all, I'm going to put out my disclaimer. I am not going to be disrespectful of this show, for the reason being that it is showcasing a particular community. And I know if somebody would say something about Black Panther kind of disrespectful, I would feel some kind of way. All I'm going to say overall, this first episode was not really my cup of tea, but I'm going to continue to give it a chance.
All right. Chris Knight, overall impressions.
I made it through surprisingly at the end. I sat there and like, that wasn't that bad. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner. I just wasn't sure what I would think about it. And when I got done with it, I was like, okay, I'm good with it so far. It is maybe a little warmer than lukewarm like to it, but I'll talk about that here in a minute.
All right, cool. Ashley, overall?
It's spectacularly, amazingly amazing.
Oh
I
my
loved
God.
it. I loved
Do you
it.
call
I
her a
loved it.
shill, or do you think she's just straight out bought for?
But
Bought.
listen,
Like, she's
but
bought.
listen, let
She
me
getting that
explain.
check, boy.
I thought that it was going to be horrible. Like, I was one of those people when I saw the trailer and was like, this is obviously for the 5-year-olds, you know?
I need that. I need Kevin Feige's phone number so I can ask him for a check.
Okay, I'll make sure you get that number with you in the stream. But I really enjoyed it. It's like when it comes to an opening, it's the second strongest MCU series for me, just from an opening standpoint.
So
I really
is it
like
better than WandaVision?
No, that's number one. It's not nothing. No, it's not better than one.
Wait,
it might be
let's
by the end of it, but
Taking
as
out
of
the
right
toe.
Hold
now,
on. Let's
another
ask
toe.
Danny that question. Danny, is it better than WandaVision?
y'all are haters. It's like,
Huh?
No. WandaVision, yeah, it's better than WandaVision. It's
okay, that's
making me
not
like
what you said.
WandaVision. It's making. I said in the earlier, it's making me like WandaVision. I didn't think that was possible. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Chillmonger. First impressions. What'd you think of the episode?
I was pleased with a lot of the episode, everything they did with Kamala, her family, and that. It's not until they got to her getting superpowers and she turns light into tangible objects that turned me off, because that's not comic book
power.
source material.
All right, cool.
Oh.
And Eli.
He's a gatekeeper, guys.
I watched the episode, then I decided to read some of the comments and reviews. Then I watched the episode again, and I just got to say, fuck you assholes who are saying this is quote unquote pandering to minority communities, saying we got to get this out of here. Fuck you. You want to know what? We've seen a Caucasian community family teenager looks like. We've seen what a black teenage family looks like. Now we see what a Pakistani family looks like. Guess what? They're all the same thing. They're all the same thing. It's just different religious cultures. But it's the same thing. Come on. I actually like this episode. But I have to get into my negatives. I did have some negative parts, but I actually really enjoyed the episode.
All right, cool. For me, personally, I didn't hate it. And I didn't like it either. I didn't think to me, it was like a Nickelodeon show. And I was just like, if I was a 16-year-old girl, then maybe I'd be very much
Girls
interested
don't
in
watch
it.
Nickelodeon.
Ashley, we
Okay,
found
12
Brandon.
then.
Yeah, we found Brandon, didn't we? We found him. There he is. There's Brandon.
That is the perfect description. That is straight up Nickelodeon.
No,
It was
Maybe.
David.
There's David. Now,
Hey,
where's the
me
other
and Danny
David?
me and Danny are partners, so I'm cool with it. I'm cool with
Hey,
it.
I'm just saying, we saw a 16-year-old Stargirl, and it's a totally different vibe.
Very true. First season of Stargirl is fire, right?
Yes,
And I'm not gonna
yes.
say
Second
this.
season.
The
good.
second season was okay. But I'm not gonna say that this show can't get any better, because it probably can. You know what I mean? I do like the, well, we'll get into our likes in a minute, but I just thought like it was, I'll say meh, because it's not bad at all, right? It's not bad. It's
terrible.
definitely not bad. It's not bad at all, but it's not
Is
great
it bad
either
if
for
they
me.
removed the doodles and sort of the special effects that they did on screen? If that wasn't there in the show, could you say, okay, now it's in the territory of bad? Or
No,
maybe
because
you
I
didn't
like
like those.
no, I like the doodles. I like it. I like the doodles. I like all
I
that
like
stuff.
that. The reason why I like Hulk, for instance, the original movie Hulk, is because of the comic book stuff they did to it. You take that out of it, that movie goes way downhill because it becomes very, very boring. The best thing going for it, for the most part, is the comic book aspect of them making it look like a comic book. Same thing. That helps the show. I'm not going to say this show sucks without it. I'm just saying that helps the show.
Right. And
I
that's
don't
for me.
disagree
Like
with that.
Yeah, the doodles added character. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoyed the doodles. I didn't mind that. And some of the times, you know, when we'll get into all that when we discuss it. We'll get into our positives though right now, because I'm going off of just overall impression. It was okay. Eli, let's go with you. What are your positives of this show? What did you really like?
I really like the fact that we actually get a realistic teenager. We don't get no Hollywood scripted la-di-da-da teenager. This is what teenagers are. Do you guys remember when you were a teenager? You know how rebellious you were to your parents? This is teenage life. The way she, like you guys were saying, the doodles, the way she incorporated the doodles, how her imagination wandered. Yeah, this is what teenagers do. Okay, yeah, it does kind of remind me of Nickelodeon show, which I did kind of like that because I don't believe the show is aiming for 35 and 50-year-olds like we are. I think it was aiming for a much younger audience because
Speak for yourself.
the last Marvel shows have been aiming toward us Generation Xers. But this is Generation Y, as in Y, the younger crowd. This is aimed toward the younger crowd, just like the title says. I did like the fact that at the that the Avenger Con, uh, they had a memorial for Scarlet Witch. It's not just all Tony Stark that they did in the past. And I read that Kevin Feige said he had so much fun with the production and filming it. He's highly considering making an Avenger Con an official thing next year, which I'm really hoping he does, and I'm looking forward to this. I like the way the story, basically you get a little backstory and why she embodies Captain Marvel over everybody else, because she's a female superhero. She's powerful. She's badass. Yeah, this is not pandering. This is who Captain Marvel is in the comics and in the movie, whether you like Brie Larson or not. I just hope that Brie Larson makes a cameo because they're supposed to be together in the Marvels. So I just hope she makes a cameo. And I'm looking forward to find out who or if Squirrel Girl is going to make a cameo or an appearance, because that Squirrel Girl is her best friend. Squirrel Girl is Kamala's best friend. Come on. Besides a friend.
I'm with Danny. I'm good.
Yeah, Bruno. But no, we don't talk about Bruno. But I gotta talk about him because when he was doing the photon gloves, if you actually notice, he was actually paying attention to her, how she was marveling at it. And he was just kind of smirking back. It's like, I think there's gonna be a little romantic relationship between those two finally.
Yeah.
I hope that actually comes true.
Wow, that deduction right there is amazing.
It was profound, wasn't it, Chris?
I know. It's like I didn't even see that coming. Where did you see a romantic relationship?
That is the biggest theory of all time.
Regular Sherlock Holmes over here, right?
No, because Marvel has tossed us in the past about 180. It's like, oh no, we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, because
they
in
do have a
Shang-Chi,
relationship though. So.
Right, but in Shang-Chi, there should have been a relationship.
They're building that. I think that's building, just kind of like
with
Iron Man and Pepper Potts. Like you have to get, they're going to get there with those.
Yeah. First off, before I move on to Chillmonger, because Eli just reminded me of something. I watched Jaden's breakdown of this, and I was like, oh my God, Jaden, really? He was like, oh no, if you go with everything, she should be enamored with Scarlet Witch and not Captain Marvel, you know? And I'm just like, yeah,
That's
but
not
Jaden,
true.
no, it's who you like. It doesn't matter if he thinks because she's more like of what they
That
were. Anyways, it was just
that
like, whoa,
cat's on
No.
a
whoa,
whole different planet, buddy.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, she mimicked. She basically is like a little version of Captain Marvel in the MCU too. So I don't know where he's coming
And-
from.
Right, because like you know, when you go to the MCU, when you watch the comics back in the day, right, they try to get you to like Wolverine and all these characters, but I liked Hulk. You know what I mean? Hulk was my favorite character, so you can't really help who your favorite character is. But anyways, Chillmonger, go on to your positives, man. What did you like about this episode?
I'll speak to the scripting inside of the home. They were using a lot of Arabic terms that I'm familiar with growing up because I'm
Oh, yeah.
Muslim, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
cool. Yeah, I know exactly what. Maybe you guys might know these words too, but like when she said something about haram and she said something about freaking. What else do you guys know? What else do you know? Like they said something about a jinn. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah,
That's a
Jinn is
genie,
basically
genie.
it's a ghost. Basically, it's the Middle Eastern version of a ghost and the demonic possessed demon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, similar to that, and I'm like, oh, there you. I mean, that was a little bit trying. I think they just did that scene so they can say that word for people like me. But like even when the boy was reading like or he was praying right before he was eating his meal, I'm like, yeah, I've heard this dua also, and I'm like, this is a solid representation without going too overboard where it's like, yo, look. So I'll take that positive. It is fresh, like Eli was saying, like. You don't see it. So when it happens, you don't realize
Chill,
what you're missing.
Chillmonger, did you get what she said before she started the car?
She said Bismillah.
Yeah,
That's what her brother said to say before.
yeah, go with God. Yeah, God will be with me or something like that. Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, little intuition right there. Instead of the Christians will do the cross, like, yes, thank you.
Well, God wasn't
Similar,
with
yeah.
her. But she damn sure went into that car.
But I understand exactly what you're saying, Chillmonger, because it's kind of same kind of way we felt when we saw Black Panther. You know what I mean? So it's like you're getting all, even though if you're saying they just put it in there, they're still putting it in there for the culture. You know what I mean? And it's really good that they're doing that. I agree with you. I enjoy that. But continue.
I'll go and I'll also say that the character and the scripting that they had in that show was like they went to a comic book and they said, oh, let's just find this page here. Like here, you can see Kamala monologuing. And of course, it's not, but big screen me. Because the scripting is, she says, it's not like I'm asking their permission to snort cocaine. She says right over there. Do you see it? And didn't she say something similar to that in the actual
Yes,
show?
she does. She does.
Yeah, she does.
I love the accuracy when it came to that. For some reason, they didn't make her powers in Biggin, and they added, well, she didn't Biggin, but they added more of like light projections, which I'm never going to forgive. And every time you throw it back to me on this show, I'm going to remind you guys that they changed their powers. And they didn't do that for Black Panther. They didn't do that for the Hulk. And they didn't do that for Captain America, but they did it for her, which is like, how did you get so much right?
They did it for Spider-Man.
He sticks to walls. He was bitten by a spider. He thwips.
Never had organic webs.
That's Tobey Maguire. That's not real Spider-Man.
It's not real.
Wow, that's the best Spider-Man. What are you talking about?
Organic webbing, 45-year-old Peter Parker. No, thank you.
I'll say that is an alteration and not so much like a brand new out of left field change. The way that she can now make lights, Purple Lantern.
Her like the embiggen powers really here is like a projection of like a cosmic entity now.
They need to name it so we know what to say. I know her original powers; she's a polymorph, but this is
what?
We'll probably find.
How does she get her powers in the comic?
She inhales mist,
Terrigen mist,
and she becomes an Inhuman. She goes into a little cocoon, and boom, she comes out, just like Black Bolt did and others.
Okay.
I wonder if a lot of it, why they might have changed her power set, is one because they didn't want to like have to deal with the Inhumans, and maybe they're not ready to like try to fix a lot of those issues.
And the reason why I'm not accepting that, Ashley, is because they could have given her the bracelets. They could have got her powers from there, and kept her in Embiggener and a polymorph.
I know that.
So like,
you're
arguing something with a point that is nothing to do with her new powers. You're talking about her origins.
Actually, guys, Ashley is right because Kevin Feige and I forgot the actress name who plays Kamala. They had an argument about this stuff, and Fahey, it's not rumored or not, but it's confirmed. Fahey did not want anything that's mentioned Immortals because it's rumored that she snuck in Humans. Thank you. She snuck a lockjaw stuffed animal onto the set and put it in her stuffed animals, and it's allegedly Kevin Feige pulled it and said no. Because she's a huge Marvel fan, she wanted to incorporate this in there, but Feige said no. We have no Terrigen Mist. We have no humans in this universe.
That is true.
We have no. Kevin Feige said this periodically. Basically, he doesn't want to confuse
Well, let me ask you this.
Fantastic Four guys.
No.
ahead,
That is
Danica.
actually a myth.
Why would he let Black Bolt be in Doctor Strange too?
Facts. I was just about to say
That's
Black Bolt was
also
there.
an Elseworld character, right? Not main timeline, and it was like a ode to Black Bolt. But I mean, he died within 5 seconds. I think that we'll eventually get there, but I don't think that when it
they're ready to do it right now.
Yeah, to Ms. Marvel, I feel like it's all about cultural ties and how does your cultural ties impact your power sets. Like, I mean, I've talked about this, especially after seeing a lot of information that kind of like leads me down that path to really believe that with like this more diverse world that we're going into, and when you look at like we've dealt with like different religious aspects and Moon Knight, we're going to be dealing with gods and how do the gods affect things in Thor Love and Thunder, that it's all kind of like based in like a religious belief system, and how can they make this be something that's part of her lineage rather than something that is bestowed upon her.
Gotcha. Were you finished, Joe? With your positives?
I'm just going to repeat myself. It's like,
and I'm just going to do that every time. So we're just going to be like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get it though.
They can make her powers inhale. They can make her powers.
But I got to make my money, Jill. So I got to.
She can get her superpowers any way they want to do it.
Tonight,
but if you introduce some brand new,
I'm gonna wait on that check.
If you got hard light that she can just create and that she can make discs, I'm gonna have to ask the questions. Why doesn't she use it to fly the way Green Lantern? He surrounds himself in it. We already seen her use her feet to like create a stepping disc.
We don't know.
All right, and now if this superhero can fly, all of a sudden, every single comic book I've read her in with every villain and every obstacle she's faced now is like she can solve that easily by just flying. Like it's going to be hard to adapt things when you add a new power. Imagine Spider-Man and his street level heroes, and he actually has Captain Marvel's abilities.
But you have no issues with Thor. Do you have issues with Thor now?
Well, Thor has Thor villains in the comic books for his Thor power set. But the
but when you completely change the personality in the mindset of the character, that doesn't bother you? Just power set changes.
I prefer accuracy in the mindset also. Sure. And that's wrong if they're changing he said Thor's mindset isn't like he is in comics.
I mean, in the sense that he like the tone he's not this very more Shakespearean, more serious character. He's like this, comedic kind of slapstick guy now.
Yeah, give me more. Put him in funny situations, fish out of water, but don't make him dumb and a jokester. Sure.
Okay.
You tried to find me being inconsistent, huh?
All right.
Yeah, I think you are a bit. I'll get you.
Go ahead, Ash. Your positives then. You're up.
The positives. I loved Iman Vellani is like the number one positive. I mean, she is just like this. Charismatic, like amazing in this. Like I feel like the role. She's so good in the role. Visually, I think that I love all the doodling, all the panels. I love the different camera angles. I love all of that. I love the family and the family aspect, and especially her parents are amazing. So I mean, like I could go on and on and on, but and then just the emotion. In like that internal struggle of like being who you want to be, but then also like your cultural ties and like how does that affect you, and a lot like even the moments like when she was getting fitted for the wedding, and then her mother has, the late, she has a conversation with a family friend, and she's explaining to her, oh yeah, my daughter didn't want to get married. She wanted to go backpacking through Europe. And then later on, Kamala like brings that up, and she's like, they basically treat her like that, that she done something so horrible just because she wanted to, go on a trip, backpacking through Europe. And just like dealing with that, like who you want to be, and also dealing with, the strong mother who kind of has an idea of who she thinks that she wants you to be, and how to separate those two.
Got you. Chris Knight, positives.
Definitely the family dynamic and the cultural family dynamic. I had a couple girls I knew when I was younger, like 16 and stuff, and I remember that no matter what they would do, even if we were playing like a bunch of kids in the street playing at a certain time of night, they had to be inside, so we'd all end up hanging around their freaking window so they could open up their window and talk to us. That was okay, but no, you can't go outside, you can't do this. There was a lot of that stuff, and so when I saw this, I was like, it reminded me of that family dynamic I've seen, either be it, I don't know. I really just like that whole part of this. And I think that kind of goes with the Black Panther thing. It is nice that they're trying to be very authentic about it. And when I say trying to be, they're being as authentic as they can. And any criticism given to it for that is actually quite disrespectful if you think about it. Call it pandering if you want, but that's not what it is. It literally is how they should be portraying this character. So I don't know why that's a problem for people, but whatever, let people be.
You know why?
Well, I do know why, but I'm just saying, you know what? It's stupid. Come up with better arguments. This, and I don't mean this in any disrespect. This show isn't going to be without easy ways to criticize it. It is, there. We'll get to the part when we talk about bad stuff, but overall, I like the girl playing Kamala Khan. I like the concept between, explaining why, she has this big obsession with Captain Marvel, and that she's, she just comes across as a typical teenager. And I mean, yes, is the show kind of feels like it's aimed towards teenagers? Sure, it does. But we all kind of remember that type of stuff. You even talked about the Hulk when you were younger. I mean, if this was something going on, I think that's kind of something, this might be like you just have to be Hulk stuff that you'd be into. And then if your parents were like, no, you can't go to that convention, even though you'd worked all this time, she's got a real passion when you see it. I think it's kind of interesting that she kind of is already this like comic book character as a character. I mean, it's like she is herself a very animated type of person with lots of vivid imagination. That's really nice to see. The AvengerCon thing, what I did like about that was it kind of looked like it was like an underground
convention. Yeah.
It looked like something that they had just, like a bunch of fans that said, screw this, we're not getting it, which is nice because within the universe, you would think that these types of heroes that are in the MCU, they would be doing this, because we do it for comic book characters, we do it for, sci-fi characters, we do that. They have nothing like that in this, in the real world of the MCU. So for them to start showing that their world in the MCU is very similar to our world, there's fans of these characters, of these people that idolize them, call it whatever. I really liked that. That really came across, because when they're talking about it, you're thinking, okay, she's going to go to the the forum or something like that, and it's not that. It's this warehouse kind of off to the side of everything, and that was kind of cool the way they set it up. So those are some of the things I like. I like the introduction of powers too. Be them right or wrong powers. I just like the way it looked and the way it felt. The haphazardness of it, where like she wasn't trying to catch the girl with this projection of a hand. She was trying to like literally slide or fly to catch herself, and it's like the her powers are understand what she's trying to do, so it's doing it for her, and she doesn't know how she's doing it yet. So that was kind of cool.
Absolutely. Mr. Graham, you're up.
I really like the fact that the way she get her powers is going to raise the stakes, because if somebody figures out the bracelet is her powers, and they could possibly try and take it or steal it, that it's gonna be kind of like how Spider-Man sometimes runs out of web fluid in the most precarious times, and he has to figure a way to still defeat the villain. So I think that's a plot tool, device, whatever you want to call it, that maybe when she really needs it, she'll forget and left it, or it's going to be out of reach, or she's going to be about to get killed or hurt or seriously hurt, and then she put the bracelet on, and I think it'll put a little bit more stakes on a particular scene. I think the mama know what it is, because as soon as the mama saw it, she said, "That's trash, put it away." So I think the mama is going to know exactly something to that. We're probably going to see them get closer as she tells them, "Mom, hey, I can do this." So I'm curious to see about that the interaction between the two of those.
I'm gonna dislike the mom if she knows these are superpowers and she knows the world we live in, and she says, "No, put that thing away. Don't be a superhero."
Wait a minute, though.
She said it.
Daughters within the and I want to get this correct, the Indian community, the Hindu, the what in that community,
yeah,
the girls are not into the heroes, or not. I mean, that's just not how that's not how it works. I mean, and call it different from what we have today here in the States. That culture is still very protective of their women, their girls, because there's a certain structure that they're supposed to follow. So mom might know what's going on, but she's like, "I don't want that for my daughter." And we don't know yet. We don't know the story. So the story might make sense why. And I'll get to that here in a minute, because it's kind of part of my dislikes in this. So.
All right.
I will say I think that she's careless. I would agree with Kim on that. She's careless for not telling her or putting it somewhere safe. But when she saw it, she instantly said, "Put that away." So she knows something about it. I don't know, but she know it can do all that, but she knows something about it that we don't know yet.
Even when she was caught, Kamala came back home. She goes, look at where you were. She's like, "Yeah, I know what you're gonna tell me about how my grandma used to always freaking fantasize. Oh, so you knew what I was gonna tell you." And then they just kind of skipped over the whole speech about how if you keep having these fantasies. I think that maybe her nanny was having these fantasies, and like her mom heard all that stuff and goes, "Okay, I'm gonna reject all of that imagination, creativity stuff when I have my kids." And so she always avoided all that fantasy stuff. That I know for sure. But if she knows that those Bengals have superpower enhancing, abilities, and she's not like, putting it on herself or giving it to Captain Marvel, for example, then what are you doing? You're not trying to make the world a better place.
Everybody don't want to be a hero, though.
I got a theory about that. I think that maybe the mother knows about them and rejected it. That's why. But she knows about the superpowers because her mother had powers. Because maybe it's her DNA. Because she's like, "Okay, I don't want nothing to do with this." And when she saw this, she's like, "Uh-oh, not this again." It's like, "No, Kamala, put that away. You're coming with me. You go to the put that away there. You're coming with me." She got her away from the situation really fast, trying to make her change her mind.
Because right now she don't
know.
She don't know Kamala has the bracelets yet, so she don't know that yet.
Yeah, not now. No, but she's talking about when she first got the box.
She had the bracelet on when she came into the room.
No, she had it covered up though. She didn't see.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she covered it.
And I think the mother really, like, for her, going back on like Shield's point, like, I think that her mother was probably looked down upon in the Pakistani community because she wasn't what is her traditional, and that's why she asked her, "Do you want to be a good person, or do you want to be somebody who's off in the cosmos?" Because she wants her daughter to be culturally accepted and to be what's considered a good Pakistani woman. That is my take on that, right? And so I think that her mother probably was slightly rejected because she did like, you know, have these powers and use these different things. And so I think that that's where the rejection comes from. And like also
and it
like
makes sense.
The mother
Yeah,
and her having this strained relationship, like 'cause she doesn't even talk to her mother really. So I think that that's where it comes from her.
And it makes sense to what you're saying because look how they treated, was it the sister or whatever, the one that went off? They were like, oh, you know, she went off and did her thing,
Rob.
yeah, you know what I mean. So you're right. They want her to be more traditional and you know, with the religion and stuff like that. So it makes sense what you're
And then
saying.
the word the mama used is cosmic.
Yeah.
That's an indicator.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I think she does know. I liked
Oh
the
shit! I
family
didn't catch
dynamic in
that.
the yeah, she did.
So
I
you want
like
to
the
be
family
normal?
dynamic in
I'm
the
sorry.
show. No, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
She just said, you want to be normal, like the good girl we taught you to be, not good person, or you want to be this cosmic thing. And then when
Yeah.
the girl, when she leaves, she lays back on the bed and she does
And then
that
she
basic thing. And she says
and she says
cosmic.
cosmic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it twice. I didn't catch the mother saying the cosmic. Damn! Thanks for pointing that out to me, Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
That shit.
So it definitely
It is cosmic. So yeah, Danny, but like yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Ash. You were saying?
At the moment, like right there. So I mean, that's what I think, and this was Danny's. It's right here.
I agree, and I like the family dynamic there. I thought it was really good in this episode, you know. And the girl that plays Kamala Khan, she is cute. I like her. She's good. Like, there's not really anything like when we get to negatives, but like, oh, I didn't like this or I didn't like that. Everything was fine. You know what I mean?
One big
The acting. I can't wait to hear it. But the acting was great, cinematography, the scenery and everything. You know, it's just I don't know. I guess I was expecting a little bit more, and like I said, to me, it felt really kiddish, but it's decent. It's decent. Let's get into the negatives. Go ahead, Danny. You first.
I think the dad was a boob. I'm like, why are they making him look so foolish? And just looking up to me, he was boobish to me, and I didn't think in that particular. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chillmonger. In that particular community, the dads don't act as silly as he did. They're more serious, more stoic.
Totally.
But he had really silly and boobish to me. I was like, that ain't accurate in real life.
Yeah, well, wait a minute though. I will kind of contradict that in one way, and that's because this is the youngest child, and by that time, Dad might have kind of just, you know, I don't know how to put this in a way that doesn't sound bad.
Softened up?
Well, not just softened up, but not necessarily softened up. It's just, I've raised 2 kids. This is the 3rd one. If I need to be involved, I will be. and so it's like it's more like having a doll. It's like and daughters just have a way of softening dads in any community, to some sense. Whatever. And also there's the side of this that being a comic book series,
if he even softened up, he told her, "Yeah, you can go."
Typically, you have some sort of a comedic character, and because she has a comedic side, maybe they're trying to make him kind of more of a comedic side, so you kind of you don't wonder where she's getting it from. Maybe.
Brightest out of town. And
Anyways.
if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown.
What is she smoking?
What? I know, like all of a sudden she just started singing Bad Leroy Brown.
Man in the whole damn town.
Young ladies call him treetop lover. All the men just call
Hey,
him.
go ahead and hit the mute.
I need that shit, Danny. Whatever she's smoking, that's what I need right now.
Good shit, boy.
For real. All right, go ahead, Danny. Continue up. Yeah, let me get you one more time.
No, I'm just saying.
This is the dad telling her, where is it? Telling her, yo, you should be excused. Like, he's not a softie when it comes to the comics. During when she returns back home from sneaking out, by the way, Abu and Ummi know you snuck out. Like, during that talk, that he is a softie, and he is kind of like, explain to me what's
fun. He got a razor.
Actually, I don't know, but go ahead, Chill.
But yeah, that's the parents' dynamic. They did decide in this show to maybe focus on Muniba more than what's her dad's name?
Goofy.
Hami. Is it Hami? No.
I don't
thought it was
remember
Yusuf.
his name.
Shit. Okay,
Yusuf, I think.
Ashley's been sharing her weed with me, so I forgot.
So they know good and well them Hulk costumes was disrespectful. So I didn't care for that particular scene.
But you see, that's what I'm saying.
Hulk and Little Hulk.
On some ways, he is a softie. But like he made the final decision. Like when he walked out of there, he was like, "You're not going."
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Right.
That's true.
So
He did lay down the wall there. But that's kind of what I think.
Man,
That's kind of what I
happy
think.
wife, happy
he's
life.
doing.
That's how shit was.
But they
Facts,
still
man.
excluded him from when she sneaks back home. He's supposed to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
let
for
me talk
sure.
to you. So
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
for
a
sure.
decision to focus on the mom, which is everything everyone complains about. Women empowerment. It's like, yeah, well, you totally did it this time. But
Actually,
that's really not that big of a deal.
yeah, but I agree with you, Chillmonger, and I think they're gonna build on the relationship between the mother and daughter throughout the series. You know what I mean? And maybe she's gonna find out that maybe her mom had the bracelets at one point, or she knew about someone having the bracelets in the family, and that's why she's kind of, she knows that the family has that heritage. And she doesn't want that for her daughter. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why
from
she's
the
a little
mom's
bit.
side of the family. You're
Yeah,
right.
right.
But then I'm
yeah.
gonna ask: is he a deadbeat dad who doesn't care that his daughter is out? Because only the mom seemed to worry about it.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Maybe it's activated in certain and manifests in certain different ways with the women in that particular family. It may only work with just them. So I think they may do something like that.
Yeah.
And the mom just chose to skip over, kind of like how sometimes if you watch like those shows with the witches, sometimes the powers will skip a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the mama skipped a generation, or she chose not to do it, and now the daughter Kamala is embracing it and is manifest something differently than what it did with the previous welder. Because that mom knows something. I don't know what it is.
I agree. Any other negatives, Danny?
Nope.
All right, Chris.
the ambiguity of the bracelet. It is such an afterthought how you do it. But as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's where she's going to get it from. It wasn't even a question. It's just they don't even address it. Maybe they're like, that's so obvious that this is the route we're going to take. And yes, we're going to take that route. So we're not even going to address the fact that we're going to take this route. Because it's the first thing she picks up. It's the only thing you actually see out of the box originally. Mm-hmm. And then in 5 seconds, they're like, oh, put that upstairs. Put that in the attic. And so you knew that. I just thought that was very, I don't know, just very poorly done. They needed to give a little more, because I don't doubt the mom knows something, but the mom should have done something to make it sound like something like, oh, give me that box. I'm just gonna mail it back, or I'll take it down to the thrift store tomorrow, or something to kind of get it out of her mind. No, she just very poignantly places it in the attic. And you can't tell me that even though they think that, she follows the rules and stuff, she's obviously naturally curious. So of course she's going to go up there. She knows where it's at. So if she knows about it, it's horribly placed on how they do it. And I'm assuming, Chillmonger, that is not how she has her powers. I think we've talked already. So I don't know why you want to go a different route completely, but that is the MCU. They many times change things directly out of the comic books, and maybe for ease of how they want to do it. Maybe because right now they don't want to address Inhumans within the MCU, even though, yes, we've had one now. I don't know about that.
I'm sorry.
But and then
it's okay. Go ahead, Chris.
At the same time that I liked the Avenger Con thing, it was kind of hokey, because like for instance, I'm sorry, even if you know this girl that was like the one that that wore the Captain Marvel costume that came from their school,
Zoe.
is going to be there. Yeah, Zoe. She would have talked about it. Oh, I've got this hot outfit or whatever. They would have talked about that. Everybody would have known who's going and who's not going. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to figure out the whole driving scene thing, the driving test thing. It just is kind of like, why are we even putting this in here? Yes, she's 16. Yes, she wants to get to the Avenger Con, but maybe you didn't have to spend the 5 minutes on that. You could have just said, we're going to go get your driver's license. She doesn't get the driver's license. The next scene, she talks about, like, next scene, you cut from her leaving the house to go get take her driver's test. The next scene is her in class with her friend, and he's like, so what happened? I didn't get it. And that's all you had to do. You didn't have to go, because the rest of it makes no sense why we do it. I mean, it's comedy. It's all about comedy, because the parents are arguing that their little daughter, their perfect daughter, was in no way wrong, and all that stuff. So I just didn't see the point of that. It was a pointless scene, in my opinion.
Shifty may never be invited on another show again saying that bullshit he just said.
Ms. Marvel blows that
Whoa.
trailer and Kenobi out the water.
Wow. Shifty, you might want to call your doctor.
You wanted to say something, Eli? Go ahead.
Yeah, that scene actually did make sense, because you gotta remember, Carol Danvers is her idol. The sunglasses, the zoom in on the foot on the gas pedal. Time for Speed. This is Carol Danvers. This is her. This is the teenager.
They make it. Listen, you were already reinforcing things that have already been very well established. That she is a fan of Captain Marvel. You don't need to keep reinforcing something that's already obvious.
That's the whole point of the Ms. Marvel comics. He can even
fine,
testify.
but that
Look at
is
this.
not.
She's always talking about she's the ultimate fangirl. This is. She talks about Captain Marvel. She talks about Captain Marvel almost every 10 minutes. This is Captain Marvel out of her mouth.
Anything.
This is her. This is a character.
It does not move the episode at all.
Okay.
That's it. Pretty much. Those are the things.
All right, Ashley. Negatives, if any.
VendraCon. That's the only one I can think of. Really, like Chillmonger and a bunch of people convinced me the other day that it wasn't believable, that it should have been bigger, and so I would say that I can't really.
So
I mean, the powers were kind of janky, but that's it. Like, but really, Avengers Con, and maybe I don't. That's it. Like, I can't really think of a negative thing other than that.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this question, because you said Chillmonger convinced you. Why should it have been bigger?
Just because it's related to the Avengers. They just basically saved the world, brought people back from the snap. And it was at Camp Lehigh, and it could have been outside, like Chillmonger said, and it could have been grander in scale. So that's it.
The thing is I think that's the whole point, is that right now this is an underground movement by fans. They want
But it's
this.
at Camp Lehigh,
the original Comic-Con, and I forget, back in 75, 76, whatever it was like 300 people. 300 people, and they had to beg like 2 people from shows to come. So I think underground start in the whole MCU makes perfect sense.
And I came from it from the same perspective as you did, and then they were like, "Well, it's at Camp Lehigh." Yes, in Camp Lehigh, it's still connected to Captain America. It still has those ties. So, then
I have a museum for him.
But so that's
he's a historical figure.
But I'm saying that where it would have been sanctioned, it would have had some type of sanction just because of Camp Lehigh.
Because these people aren't.
So that's the only thing.
Comic book characters.
I'm not like married to it that big.
I just don't. It isn't the same as a Comic-Con here, because these are real people.
Oh yeah, I know.
Universe. So real people don't get conventions about them. They get put in museums. They get statues like Superman and Justice League. That's what you do with these people. These people are fanboying and fangirling over them like we do Marvel characters. So they are creating this surreal thing in their world for real people, much like what we do for comic book.
We got the Stark Expo that everyone goes to, and it was bigger
but
than
that's
this
different
was.
because that's the World Expo, like or the World's Fair is what we used to call it. It's the World Expo. That is their tit for tat replacement of the World's Fair. It is the Stark Expo because Stark is the one that does the future, the land of tomorrow.
And then that was another thing, yeah. Trinity, yeah. But I mean, it's to me, it's like the smallest negative of all the negatives. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to find
point,
something. But everything you said, Chris, I said it. But yeah.
So here's my question real quick, right? Because and I guess I'll go to Chill because Chill was the one that said it should have been bigger, right? Could it be possible that, you know, certain states, like when Comic-Con comes here, it's not as big as a Comic-Con that would be in San Diego or something like that, you know? So could it have been possible the first one, you know, so it's a little bit smaller, but the next one still get bigger and bigger over time?
It's possible for something like a regular Comic-Con, like what did you say? The first one only had 300 people. It's possible for that, but this is not an underground movement. These are the humans who saved the world, aliens too. First one shouldn't be small. It should be massive.
But they're worshiping. They're not historically marveling over them.
I went to it and I saw Black Widow and Iron Man being historically marveled at. Yes. There was a little there was pictures you could take next to a Thor hammer.
You're not in our world. You don't go to a museum and see Captain America.
We would if it was real, if there truly was a Captain America.
Museum. But these people are characterizing them like comic book characters, so it's a different movement.
In every show I've ever seen in Marvel, I remember Thor Ragnarok, he was just on the street. Can we take a photo, Thor? Yeah, sure. What happened to you and Jane? You know, we broke up. Well, and then I was watching Hawkeye. He was eating dinner, and the guy at the restaurant said, "No, you eat for free." Like the LARPers, like there's such a fan base of these guys that when you go to New Jersey and see that, then it doesn't.
I don't have an issue with it one way or another. You could be right, but also Anzo's right. The first one of these things never is in a big place. In fact, normally the big places want so much money that people who put these on can't afford them up front. So when they go to a new place, they're not going to do it. Now, yes, you could say because it is about these people that the place is like, oh, we'll let you do it. Do whatever you want. Go ahead and have everything. Maybe. But I still think the underground movement side of it is cool, but at the same time, I think that kind of takes away from what it's supposed to be. But I just like the inclusion of something like that you would expect in this universe.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit leaning to Chillmonger's side now, right? This is an Avenger thing. People from all around the world would come to that. It should have been a lot bigger, you know what I mean? So I kind of agree with that.
The pre-con, they could have said they're doing Avengers Con in Madison Square Garden. Now to win a ticket, we have to win this costume contest. Boom, easy writing.
Yeah,
you say easy writing, but Marvel and Star Wars lately, you know, lots of times don't take easy writing.
No, and when they think they're doing easy writing, they're doing fucking garbage. But go ahead, Chill. Finish up with your negatives.
At the Avengers Con, when Giant Man's head rolled down, I read this review at first, but it was right. It just kept on spinning and gaining momentum where it probably shouldn't have gained momentum. So that was a little mistake there.
The Indiana Jones effect on that was heavy. If it had dropped, it should have just. And what's it made out of? It's probably made out of paper mache at this thing, so it's probably going to go boom and have a big dent in it and just stop.
Yeah.
I guess it had to be real. Thor's hammer taking away Zoe. Okay, the next time I see her, I need her in a complete body cast.
Yeah, for real.
Mobile, because that was a big hit.
That was so Disney right there. That was very, very Disneyfied there. Like that's like something you would see a Nickelodeon show. Or
that's when it gets the Nickelodeon stuff.
Absolutely true right there.
We gotta wait. Let's see how they follow through with it. If she does have like a big nose bandage.
She's sitting up right afterwards when she saved her. She's sitting up like, oh my god. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so you want to take bets right now and if they're gonna put her in a full body cast?
I can't. No, I don't want to make that bet. No.
I don't make sure. If it's not a true thing, I don't want to bet on it. So that's the thing. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Anything else, Chill?
The superpowers were different than the comic books.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, elaborate. Go ahead. Let's.
Well, you like a bulldog on the back of a meat truck with that, boy. You ain't gonna let that go.
Yeah, I don't want to elaborate. Like you guys know how I feel about it, man. They should embiggen, and she should shrink, and she should change her appearance to look like Carol Danvers. That's the whole point of this original story, where she actually makes her body look like Carol Danvers, and she says, "Oh, this is what a hero looks like," because of the lack of representation of what a superhero looks like. And then it dawns on her, you know what? I just got shot. But when I turned back into myself, I started healing. I am more powerful when I am myself, and there's like a message to be shared there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're just completely skipping that story, which is
we're still getting that message though, but different, told in a different way.
They're telling the story differently.
Yeah, you'll probably get the same kind of message. It'll probably be differently. You know what I mean? Maybe because like she has this Captain Marvel on a pedestal, but remember, Captain Marvel ended up getting fucking her ass whooped by Thanos. And when they talked about her and Thanos, they never brought up the part that Thanos fucked her up, right?
I left that out.
Yeah.
I had to think about somebody who fangirls over Captain Marvel is never going to talk about that one time that my hero got her ass kicked by somebody. You're never going to talk about that. So, I mean, I kind of just left that and said, I understand why.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
I was saying to kind of piggyback on what Chillmonger said about they changing the story, but if you get to the destination, you don't have to exactly go to the same story, because if you're going to leave South Carolina and go to California, you can go by train, you can go by car, you can go by plane. There's 3 different modes of travel, but the end destination is California. So it may not be the destination that you particularly want, which is, let's say, for instance, the plane route. But if you go through train or by car, you're still going to get there. You're just going to see something a little bit different.
Yeah. but I'm someone who strives for comic book accuracy. So
we always get into that discussion on here that your comic book accuracy, they are trying to. Yeah, they're trying to give you as much comic book accuracy as they can with their own ideas. They'll bring in new people. I mean, it's I don't disagree.
All right.
There's another thing that wasn't comic book accurate. There's what's her name? Nakia, the friend. You see her there in this photo where she was kidnapped. So like the way she covers her hair with a hijab, the whole like show wasn't accurate to that. Like in the show, I kept seeing her with her hijab on, but like the roots of your hair would still be showing. I'm like, what are they going for? Like if you're trying to do like a service to people who dress a certain way, but you're doing it half-assed, like what are they trying to do? I know there are girls in the world who don't always cover their hair. They're like, let me just put this thing on. It's kind of loose. It's not tight. It's not. And everyone do you. I'm not going to judge your, the way you practice your religion or anything. But like Nakia, the comic book character, does wear a hijab and cares about it and has dialogue where she talks about the way that corporate brands have sort of like hijacked the freaking hijab as some sort of feminist movement. Like there's dialogue in here where she's, to quote, to use a word that is used misproperly, she's very woke, and she's like someone who's serious about her religion. And I disliked that they showed.
Would you say that has something to do with Disney being afraid that they're going to be called out too much for being like too,
it could be
trying to placate cultures too much? Do you think that that's kind of like their way of saying, man, if we do this, they're just going to say we're just doing it to do it? I mean, is that maybe just a little bit of the criticisms on Disney coming out where they're saying, okay, don't worry about that. That's not.
I can't say though. Maybe they view it as, this is the moderate version. And to me, I go,
exactly.
I disagree. That'd be hypocritical, because look at all the different animated movies they make that has different nationalities and different races. So if they were afraid of that, they wouldn't make those animations.
I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying they are doing that.
No, I'm just saying I say no. They aren't afraid. They just want to write a certain narrative, because if they were afraid to do that, then they wouldn't make like Moana and what's the one with the black guy? I think everybody says Crickly Clean and Mulan and all those different
Soul.
ones. Oh, Soul. Yeah, Soul. I think they're trying to cover all bases. But they don't want to go so far. I don't think they're scared. I think they just want to do whatever they want to do.
And I wouldn't say Disney either. I would look at the show creators of this show, and I would say they made the decision. All the directors were all either they were Muslim themselves or from the region and had a different religion. But like they all decided to do this, so that's on them.
And also, if they were afraid, I don't think Kevin Feige would fight as hard as he did for Black Panther if he was afraid. So I think he's going to fight for whatever story, no matter what religion or what culture it is, based on it's going to tie into his vision. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're scared either, but I also think they may not want to give too much, like overload people with too much of it. So we'll put little sprinkles here and there. We'll keep it light. You know what I mean? Keep it lighthearted. I don't think they're scared to do it. I just think they don't want to overload people with all of the stuff that they could put in it. Eli, you're up.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add to what Chilmonger was saying. One of the directors and creators of the shows, he is from Pakistan, so that's why he did inherit some of his culture into the show. And he always asked Kevin Feige about certain stuff, and Kevin Feige told him, "quote If there's a problem with it, I'll tell you to remove it, but I won't tell you why. I won't tell you why." And he didn't say anything about removing this, removing that, removing this. So basically, Kevin Feige had the final say. He's like, "Done. Okay." He didn't care that they incorporated his own little cultural history into it. I just wanted to add that for you, dude. There was 3 things that I did not like.
I'm not doubting what you say, Eli, but where are you getting this from?
I saw the same interview. It was Bilal Fallah that said that during when he talked about Kevin Feige, and he would ask him what's happening. Don't worry, it's that movie Doctor Strange doesn't matter to you. We'll tell you if you go away.
I got you. Good deal.
Yeah. There's 3 things that basically I didn't like. Number 1, there was no Terrigen Mist. I'm like, I didn't like how they explained her new powers, cosmic, but it just totally went off comic book accurate. Whole point of Ms. Marvel is she got her powers with the Terrigen Mist, but there's no Terrigen Mist. That's what I have a problem. One of the problems with. Second problem I had with was the convenience of her forgetting the photon gloves. She's in the bathroom stall. She puts her helmet down sideways. All of a sudden, you see the helmet down right propped up, and the photon gloves are right there. How did the helmet get turned up on the side all of a sudden within half a second? That's convenience to forget the photon gloves.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this straight up. I went just the other day, man. I had my iPad, right? And I was going to the store, so I'm on my iPad, whatever. Went to the store, put it on the counter, paid for my drink, and then walked out the fucking store. And as I got 2 steps away from the door, I was like, "Oh fuck, my iPad!" And I had to go back and get it. So yeah, it's possible, man. It's possible. Those type of things, I don't say that's far-fetched anymore because I fucking done it.
Yeah,
but go ahead,
her best friend took the time to make those gloves, and she just totally forgot them. Remember, she forgot them when she got to the stage. Like, oh shit, I totally forgot them over there. No, I didn't buy that part.
It happened.
Yeah. The third thing I didn't like was part of some of the graffiti scene. I mean, couldn't Miles Morales cross the bridge and tag some of the artwork? I was looking carefully for some Miles Morales art, and I didn't see it. I was expecting to throw a little Easter egg in there because it's the same neighborhood area, it's the same world. Miles Morales is a graffiti artist. She does graffiti. I would have expected them to at least have a little Easter egg in there. But I could not find any of that. I'm really frustrated with that. I'm like, come on, throw us an egg.
I don't think they're ready for Miles Morales yet. They got Peter Parker right now. I don't think they're ready to do anything with Miles Morales yet. We'll be lucky if they even do anything with Miles Morales, right? But right now, I don't think he's in any of the plans. But continue.
Oh, damn it, we done gave you 3. Now you want a black one? No.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, there's another one. The Ant-Man head. Yeah, the momentum. How did it increase speed? An object that rests. Come on, this goes against Newtonian physics. I didn't like that scene. Other than that, I have no other complaints, except for the trolls who want to troll just because they want to troll. Fuck you again.
Absolutely, and we know who those trolls are. You could just go on YouTube and Twitter, and you can see some of the shit they talking about already. You know what I
Are
mean?
they talking negative about this on YouTube?
Oh
Shit.
shit!
Well, there's some that aren't even talking about it. They just did a video on why I'm not watching it.
Yeah. Because it's woke and this and that and all kinds of blah 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 and all kinds of shit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And wait till She-Hulk. They're gonna say same thing about She-Hulk. They're gonna same thing about Prey. It's all gonna be the same bullshit that we've been hearing over.
And I'm gonna be there first night.
And I'm on Donnie's level to where at this point I'm just like, okay, guys, shut the fuck up now. Like enough is enough. You know what I mean?
Come up with interesting criticisms. Like I said, everything isn't perfect. You can criticize things, but don't use. Listen, the actress may not know how to act. Maybe that's the problem. Has nothing to do about what her cultural background is, the color of her skin. That's not what it is. You point out the fact that she can't act. That's what your criticism is. But you better be able to back it up.
Or one sexuality when you're starting to complain about the new Doctor for the Doctor Who.
Well,
have you looked at his past work?
Oh God.
Okay. Is there anything where we at?
Anything else you like?
No, that's.
Was there anything else you like?
Yeah, that Ashley has better weed than I do.
That's right.
Ashley was all singing and shit. Ashley, did you know you weren't muted when you were singing?
No, I did.
Okay. You snapping your fingers?
Ashley, I have 31.40 THC. Okay, I got some nice good weed, but you got better.
Somebody sent me like a thing, and I was listening to it, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't notice I was unmuted, but I didn't realize how long.
You were jamming.
All
right.
Yeah,
jamming. Let's get into our grades, final thoughts, and predictions. That's okay. Final thoughts, predictions, if you have any. I'm gonna start differently this time. Let's go with in the middle. So, Chillmonger, what do you think?
My predictions with the end credit scene of that agent who was in No Way Home, so good continuity.
Holy shit! I didn't even know there was an end credit scene. Now I gotta go back and watch it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, oh my God! You always say to the bitter end,
but the TV shows are different. They don't always have an end
to the bitter
scene.
end for them to just in case there's
somebody. Alonzo, I'd have been just like you when somebody pulled my coattail. Don't forget about and watch the end scene credit. I was like, oh shit.
Okay, see, I didn't know.
Now you're gonna like the show when you watch the end credits.
Yeah, it's gonna blow your mind.
I think he'll be the main antagonist for this whole series because a lot of it will be focusing on herself, her history, her lore, and everything. But to have this guy prying and trying to figure out who she is, and he may be a Skrull for all we know. Imagine that he's one of the Skrulls.
It'd have been cool.
Building up to that Secret Wars thing.
Didn't have one of the guys from Loki. That would have been even better.
Loki, you mentioned. Iman Vellani talks too much because she did an interview. She was talking about all of the actors she marked out when she saw. So she said she freaked out when she met Tom Hiddleston. Okay, why Tom Hiddleston? I think he's in this show. Yep. He shows up early in her comic books, so like he kind of because he's a prankster. He goes to the school on prom night or what's the other one? Semi-formal, one of those things, and he kind of like does his tricks in that school. So there is an issue where Loki and Ms. Marvel have history.
Okay, cool. And what you grade for the episode?
Probably like 5 because they changed their superpowers.
Ooh, you took off a lot for that.
I don't know. I can't grade it. Like the part that's really important, they changed.
I got you.
Did you expect them to stay absolutely true to it?
Bro, no, but that is a big thing to get wrong. The superpowers of a superhero. They haven't done it for anyone else.
And I'm not by any means. I do not ever tell somebody how to vote or what their ranking should be. But does that not seem like something that you would have given a higher grade if they had done it rather than a lower grade because they didn't do it? Because you kind of walk in expecting they're not going to play this like the comic book.
He's the main reason why it was getting review bombed.
No, but Chris, if they let's pretend that we live in a world where the show was this exact same show it was, except she never had the power to shoot photon lightly things, and she could just embiggen herself. I would say this was a great outing. I'd give it a 9.
So if they start focusing on that type of power more, even though she didn't get the power the same way, later on, are you going to start saying, okay, now they're going the right direction?
It's not the way she got her power. It's the power.
All right. Okay.
Didn't she kind of embiggen herself whenever she caught the girl with her hand?
Yeah,
No.
and that
Well,
happened, and that's
hand thing,
accurate because she can embiggen herself, minus the lighting glowing thing. But
Yeah.
the ability to shoot things out of her body and like control it and walk on discs and make a shield and everything else that's going to be coming, I'm gonna fault it for that.
Maybe
Got
that
you,
power's
'cause-
cooler. She even that power's cooler when she's in the comic book.
You know what else would be cool if Hulk could fly, but they didn't do that. Imagine if they give a shield to
Jumps high.
Spider-Man. Imagine
Well,
if
look at
they,
it. Well, okay. Well, look at it. Do in one movie, one woman can fly. One movie she can't. One movie. So I mean,
yeah, but that's a fault. That's an inconsistency in which I criticize. I don't like that.
So my question is, because you're talking about they did the same thing in with the rings, right? In Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah.
They're bracelets and not rings. Did that bother you too?
You know what? He still has the ability to be a like fighter. We know he's a martial artist. We know he can lose those rings, and he'll still be regular Shang-Chi from comic books. With her, it feels like if she loses the bracelet,
she's not
going to retain the embiggening. Maybe she will. Who knows?
The Shang-Chi I read about, he relied heavily on those rings, and each ring had a different power. Like one could shoot freeze.
The Mandarin, yeah.
The Mandarin rather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Mandarin power was totally different than in the comic book.
Yeah, absolutely. In the movie, he controlled 100%. The rings without having rings before he got the rings. So he doesn't need the rings.
Yeah.
What? Say it again.
The end battle scene before his father sacrificed himself. His father started the rings at him. He controlled himself the rings without even having any rings of his own. So he can lose the rings in the battle and still fight because he's a martial artist.
No. We're talking about the Mandarin. The Mandarin in the comic books relied heavily on the power.
Rings.
He wasn't a martial artist.
Sorry, I didn't hear comic book part. Sorry.
Right. No, and the rings, right? They were rings, and each ring did something different, right? Yeah. But these rings on the wrist, it seemed like they were all in unison, and whatever they were doing, they all did the same thing. So there wasn't different powers for each rings, at least from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see something in the future.
They kept him immortal because he lived over 200 or 300 years. They were saying.
Yeah. So sometimes they do it.
I like that improvement on that one. Those rings was tight.
Yeah, the rings are tight. Donnie, you're up.
I'm gonna give it a B minus, C plus, somewhere there. So in that, I think the mom knows what's going on. I think we're gonna see that maybe in episode 3 or 4. How many episodes is this gonna be?
I don't know.
6.
6. Okay.
I think we'll see it around episode 3, where she starts seeing stuff on the news, and then she decides to tell Kamala, and it'll be a whole history of women in their lineage has the power, and she decided she didn't want to do it because she wanted to be more towards traditional ways. And then she's gonna start, well, your grandmama, she did this. Because I went back and looked at it while we were talking, and I guess Nana is the grandmama. And the time she took it out the box, she said, "What is this?" And then she looked at it. She said, "That is junk." She went directly for that, took it out of her hand. So the mom knows what's going on with that bracelet. So I predict that the mom is going to tell her what the bracelet is about, the origin of the bracelet, and then she's going to give her blessing to become Ms. Marvel.
All right. Let's go with Chris on this one. Chris.
I am going to give it a C plus right now.
Okay.
It's either C or C plus, but I'll go C plus right now because I want to see where it goes. I'm going to play this kind of like Moon Knight. I didn't hate it. I like where it's going. I understand Killmonger's want for comic book accurate. We've mentioned that multiple times about the movies, multiple times about these series. But at some time, you're going to have to take the MCU and Marvel in the Marvel Studios you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that that's just not how they play it. Why? I don't know, because like this one especially, maybe more so than others, really doesn't make much sense because this one's one of the easier ones to come about. Like I think that it'd be like taking the whole gamma ray thing away from Hulk. It's like
Well,
that's
before you finish, Chris, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to kind of start agreeing with Chillmonger on this because I started thinking about Hulk, and I'm like the way they fucking destroy Hulk in the fucking MCU, I hate it. I fucking
I
hate
understand
it.
that.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, they've taken a lot of characters they've done this with, and I don't know. I've got to watch it for what it is, and I like what it was. I think it's really good. Yes, it has a Nickelodeon-esque flow, and I'm hoping they maybe back off that a lot. But I kind of think that's just what we're going to get out of this. This is probably geared more towards the teenager crowd, because so much of the other stuff recently has been. When you think about it, like Moon Knight was very adult structured. The things that they were dealing with, Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that was very adult oriented. So it stands to reason that they will eventually go for a younger audience at some point on this. So I'm okay with what they're doing so far. We'll see what happens. The grade might go up or down as time goes on, but right now, C plus around there somewhere.
Cool. Eli.
I would have to give it an 8 or a B plus. I would give it an extra 2 points, but the reason why I give it an 8 is because they changed the powers. There's no Terrigen Mist. I would be willing to give back those 2 points and give it a full 10 A plus if they explained that the grandmother went through a Terrigen Mist, and that's the only reason why the bracelet couldn't work, because Terrigen Mist people or DNA offspring from people went through Terrigen can use the bracelet. Nobody else can use it because the grandmother seems to be important. They kind of hinted at her twice. Of course, MCU maybe throwing us a little loop again, but I would be willing to give back my 2 points and say it's a full 10 if they say the grandmother went through a Terrigen Mist process, and this is why the bracelet works for her, and her mother skips a generation and it works for her daughter. I would will if they actually go with that way and they actually mention Terrigen Mist or Terrigen or something along the lines of that, or a special crystal, at least hinting toward it. I would give back my 2 points if they do this, but they took away the fucking origin of her powers. I have to give this an 8.
All right, cool. And Ash, your grade, final thoughts, predictions. If you can take yourself away from singing for a minute and
put it on me if she's not coming back.
Hold on.
Put the pipe down.
It was a Valentine's Day dance where she was at Loki. It wasn't no semi-formal.
Okay.
Just to get myself accurate.
Sorry, I had the song in my head that time, and so I was like, what?
Yeah, I said final thoughts, grades, predictions, if you have any.
Final thoughts. It's amazingly, amazing. I love the show. And predictions. I mean, obvious. We're gonna find out about her grandmother and how her mother rejected that, and how the DODC fits into all of this. And then Monica or Carol's going to show up at some point, I think. Yeah, I love it.
How many stars you give it, Ash?
3.
Smart.
Out of 4, remember? I'm Roger.
You're smart. I was hoping you'd have said something higher than that. Like, you see, it's better than WandaVision. You're smart. So it's on the same level.
You're going to catch me slipping
there.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch you. All right. So, but your grade, though, what would you give the grade?
7.5.
All right. 7.5. Yep. I'm going to give it a B, right? I'm going to give it a B because I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it at all. It wasn't like where I was watching this and I was like, oh my god. Like there were some episodes of Hawkeye where I was just like, oh, what the fuck am I watching here? You know what I mean? Like, what is this shit? Like, so I never got that with this show. It's a cute little kiddie show to me, whatever. So I'm like, it's decent. It's not. I gave Hawkeye and them way too many bad fucking. I cannot give it the same grade I gave a Hawkeye episode. I think only one Hawkeye episode, maybe two, got like a B for me, and those were a couple good episodes, right? Rest of it was all below B's. So this one is decent. It's good, right? Like I said, so I'm gonna give it a B.
Brandon.
Have no idea where it's gonna go, and I think and I think that's fine because I don't know much about the comics like Chill does, so I don't have any expectations of the story or what's going on. So I'm hoping I can watch something through eyes like I don't know nothing and get surprised and be like, oh shit, that's cool. I like that shit. Marvel always does some shit that I end up liking anyways, whether I don't like the shows. Every one of those shows, WandaVision, Loki, Hawkeye, they had some shit in it that I liked. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting the same thing for this one. I think it's going to be a little bit more. And if they keep the same kind of pace that they're doing, I'll be okay with it. It'll be fine, right? I won't hate any of the episodes, and I'll just be like, okay, this is cool. You know, take it for what it's worth. Poe gave it a B. Bro, this doesn't compare to the other series yet. I don't know, man. Some of those other series, Poe, I'm sorry. I was just like,
Oh, he said don't compare it to him yet.
Can you highlight Jason Lee Tucker's statements?
No, he said this don't compare to. Bro, this don't.
Can you highlight? Can you highlight Jason
Lee
Tucker's
Tucker?
statement?
Really?
Duck boobies.
Damn it. Just give me a Howard the Duck 2 movie. Yeah, fucking right, man. No, Poe said he gave it a C. I want a Howard the Duck movie too. Donnie wants a Howard the Duck movie. He knows he wants to see
does.
it.
He's a closet Howard the Duck
What kind of
fan.
lie you
I'm
telling
really
on?
attracted
Did Elihu go?
Yeah, he did.
I'd like to see Airman Fuzz shoot Howard the Duck. That would be cool.
All right,
It's rabbit season.
I like the version they used in Guardians of the Galaxy, though. That's the perfect Howard of the Duck, how they did it.
Yeah, and Guardians, they're doing an I Am Groot special. They could do a Howard.
I
the
can't
Duck
wait.
special.
I can't
Absolutely.
wait.
Absolutely.
I
got you,
did
Jason
2
Lee.
polls.
Yeah,
2 polls.
go ahead.
First one, did you enjoy the series or the episode 1? And 64% said yes. 35% said no.
Okay.
And then I asked for the ratings. I said 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 or 10 plus. So the biggest group was 7 to 9. 1 to 3 got 30%. 4 to 6 got 15. 7 to 9 got 44%. And 10 or 10 plus got 10%.
Cool.
So, yeah, there you go.
Well, the one thing I
got
can
the votes
honestly,
for you guys too, real quick.
yeah, go ahead, Ashley. What'd you say?
On that one?
An extended cut of Spider-Man: No Way Home will be released in theaters in September, ladies and gentlemen.
Really?
Extended cut.
September.
What's the extended cut? Like 30 seconds?
I don't know. It's just breaking news right now.
You know why?
Are we going to see a bad CGI Hulk in the end at the end credits?
You know why they're doing it, right? They're trying to hit the 2 billion. They didn't hit 2 billion yet, right? No Way Home didn't hit 2 billion yet.
Yeah. They're trying to end game it.
When is it going to be coming out?
September. Extended cut will be released. I'm gonna look at. I'll read the article and get more information. But
so who? All right. So who's gonna go see the extended cut? That's the question.
I will. I did it with Endgame.
I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna raise my hand. I'll go see it.
Yes, September. I don't have a date right now. I have to look at the article and see if there's a date.
Okay, you want to go out? You want to go out? You want to go to the movies then? You don't have a date?
No, Eli, not that type of
Who's that? Are you asking Phil?
Shit, great show, guys. We're gonna run around the panel one last time so these guys could talk about the channels. We'll go the other way this time. Eli, who talk to the people talking about your channel, sir?
I happen to be Eli Who. I do not talk about comic books. I do not talk about movies or TV shows. What I do have is a science show where I talk about basic astronomy to complex astrophysics. chart of the solar system, gamma ray burst. Whenever you look up in the night sky, you can see meteor shower, or is that a satellite? Hey, there's even a way to measure the night sky on my little YouTube channel. And I have a couple parody videos, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, my little handle's right here. Sorry, damn phone. I hate this little box version. Never mind, sorry. So you guys can see it. Whatever. Thanks for having me on. And my phone is at 12%. Woohoo.
Perfect timing. Eli. I'm sorry, Chillmonger.
Yes.
Talk to people, sir.
I stream every Saturday at 1 p.m. 33 burning questions. So check me out. It's got a nice intro theme. You might recognize it. And we made a whole bunch of inside jokes during this stream about me and Ashley talking about the Rotten Tomato scores and how a guy named Brandon left a nasty, message. You should watch that video, guys, and then read the description for the exact timestamp of Brandon.
That's why you called me Brandon, right? That's why you said Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I love those people that put nasty comments in. They're great people.
Crazy. It's funny, man. Sometimes it's just like, why even bother? Like, do you really need to get your fucking thoughts out that bad that you just gotta, fuck this shit, it's trash? And like, there's a lot of shit I don't like, and I just fucking be like, it's trash. That's it.
They're threatened by the world changing and things that we don't even consider. Like, they drive through a highway, they see a billboard, and all of a sudden it's not a white guy advertising Ivory Dove soap. It's like, oh no, we're
losing our race. Yeah,
my little world is like
shrinking. No. Ashley.
Yes. The widow. And guys, No Way Home will be in theaters in Canada and the United States September 2nd. Just in time.
Memorial Day weekend.
Get that shit out of the way because I want nothing messing up October.
So that's when that'll be released, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's coming very, very soon, guys. That'll be fun. And that's the type of stuff I do on my channel.
And Ashley, why should we subscribe with the notification bell on your channel?
Hold on. You want me to do it right now? Okay, because you don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, that's why. You don't want to miss it. Ding. That's what I do.
Hold on. You know what? I gotta give it.
Yeah.
No, stop it.
Evidently, Anzo just exposed himself because he doesn't watch my videos. Because if he knew, that's what I do. And then I say, make sure you have your notes.
No, wait, time out.
I know. You don't want to miss. That's what I do.
I will tell you what. Anzo pimps your stuff out quite a bit. Actually,
I know. I'm picking on him. That's Anzo's my buddy, my pal.
That's right. And I do watch your stuff. I may not always watch the whole thing. Like last night you were doing that shit and I seen you send the link, but I was like, no, I can't. It's too late. I have to go to bed,
Yeah.
But Saturday is what? Tell them about Saturday.
What's Saturday? Oh, I don't know. I have to find out if I'm still going to do it because I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on camera.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Why don't you want to be on camera? Your hair messy?
No.
You got a zit on your nose or some shit?
No, it's like I look like myself.
All right.
She's stoned.
I won't
Click
bother
the
you.
camera button.
No, because
well, if you do, I'll be there, right?
Yeah.
So
I'll let you know because we might do it. I just find out.
What he's telling you is he'll be there.
I know he will.
Oh my God!
Look over your shoulders, honey.
Hold on, maybe Danny. Maybe we should end the stream with some living in America.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, do it.
I don't want my stomach to be hurt.
Has she not seen that yet?
Oh my God!
I don't know. Did you not? Maybe she didn't see it.
Yeah, I did. You showed it to me. Like when they had like a long. Yeah, I remember a long. I haven't seen it since.
Chris.
It It happened. But you showed it
It's
to me. I remember
hilarious.
when you showed it to me.
It's fucking hilarious. Chris
The
Knight, talk
first
to the
time I
people,
saw
sir.
Chris Knight was in that video.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's such a great way to be introduced to me, man. Here's this white boy singing this black man's song. It's like
he be
that's a
singing
great way to
hard
be
too, boy.
introduced to me.
It was
Super
amazing.
highway.
I loved it though, Chris.
Coach,
Anyways, I am
Oh my god.
station to station.
Oh god.
I actually seen an idea for a show. It's just like I don't know if I could like something down
Really,
your
Clay?
alley.
Why did you do that? Fuck.
It's called Don't Forget the Lyrics or something like that, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I watched that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that show a lot. I'd like to find a way to do that on air here, but I'm not really sure if I could. I'll have to figure that out. Anyways, Chris Knight, Real Review 3000, music, movies, games, more. ADHD for YouTube is how I describe my channel. Don't forget also here on Chaos Central, we got 3 guaranteed shows most every week. This week was a little bit weird. Sometimes every once in a while things happen. But normally on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the 3 Chaos Central shows, which is the Chaotic Conversation on Monday, the Chaos List on Tuesday, and my show, The Rule of 3, on Wednesdays. Then we also do our roundtables over here. Miss Marvel is going to be on Fridays at 8:30 Eastern, and my show, the Obi-Wan Kenobi roundtable, is on Sundays at 8:30 Eastern. So check that out, guys. Thank you very much. Really enjoy these panels. And I like the fact that you brought a couple extra new people in. Well, I mean, Ashley, we've done stuff before, but I love having Chillmonger here. Chill, it's great having you
here. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, Chill's cool. Like Chill. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And just one more thing to add to what you're saying, Chris, is and we'll just announce it now that we will be doing a Bad Batch season 2 roundtable, which me and Chris will probably be taking turns doing. Pretty sure that will be on a Sunday too. It'll be Honor JJ, so we're gonna do that as well. Danny,
you gonna do the crawl?
Talk to the people, sir. Boy, I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We ain't finished the last crawl. I didn't see the
I know.
But anyway,
No, we didn't.
I'm Daddy Graham, aka Comment Chat. You can find me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights on this channel. 2 guys to my left and right. Just trying to do our thing, make it do what it do. Enjoy the show tonight and look forward to next Friday.
Absolutely. And don't forget Sunday. I think Sunday is gonna be a good panel because I think a lot of us, well, most of us anyways, enjoyed that episode of Kenobi. So I think it should be a positive one on that one. Definitely should be positive.
Yeah.
And guys, I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. Don't have to tell you all the shows because they already said, except for the one that we do on Wednesdays, which is the OOC with my boy Roberto. We have special guests on there. Ashley is on there. Well, Ashley's part of the show, but sometimes we have LB on there. Anybody else who wants to pop in and kick it with us is definitely welcome to do so. But other than that, we do all the shows, and I just want to thank everybody on the panel that came in that did this with me, and everybody that was in the chat. Poe was there, David Quintana was there, Basel was there, Brittany was here. Anand, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, was in the house. Jason Lee Tucker was in the house. Adnan, there we go. Thank you very much. Who else we got? Shifty Gizm was in the house.
The lovely Sherry.
Yeah. Jason Lee Tucker. Sherry was in the house. Second Street Marvel was in the house. Sean Stackhouse was in the house. Thank you guys for popping in. Tony Robinson was here. Austinator was here. Thank you guys once again. It's always a pleasure when you guys come in and chill out with us. Mad's Mama Bear was in the house as well. Can't forget Matt, so I'll be getting a fucking, you forgot me. No, I didn't forget you. I'm scrolling through the names. That's all. I'm just saying. Kendall, aka the Sensei, in the house. Thank you once again, guys. I do appreciate it.
It's called skin, fool.
Yeah, tell him that. I like that. I was giving a finger down. He says like skin. With that being said, peace out. See you next week. Love you guys. Peace, love, and hair grease. Let me get this outro. Peace.
I think you hit the wrong thing.
Later, weirdos.
Yeah, I did. I took off the fucking background instead of the fucking
Boomer.
intro.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Down to smoking good stuff.
You know what I mean?
Share, man, share.
Okay, I got it this time. Peace.
I am inevitable.